Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Corinne and you have found CoryCreates. This is a channel primarily about cross stitch, but I also talk about all of my other creative projects, including sewing, and I'll throw in anything else that I attempt to try. Welcome to my returning friends. I'm so glad you were able to spend a little time with me today. Today is Saturday, June 28th. 2025, and this is Flosstube number 40. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am excited to be back before you. It has been about 2 weeks, like I promised, since my last video. I'm so excited I've been able to actually come back before you every 2 weeks. I admire those of you that come back every week. I don't know how you do it. But I am back. It has been 2 weeks, but I have been very busy. A little overwhelmed. I'll get to that a little later on in the video, but it has been a month of successes and a month of setbacks. So I'm trying to find a balance and maintain my sanity a little bit. It's just been a lot going on. Last time that we talked, it was still chilly. It is not anymore. We have gone from spring, early spring, to hell just that fast. I think today is going to be the only day of the week that it has been below 90. I think our high today is going to be 88. But for the last week, it has been 93 or 4 and above. I don't know if we hit 100, but it's been pretty doggone close. I'm not complaining though, because you all, I prefer heat. I know exactly what to put on in the morning when I get up when it's this hot, okay? Normally I don't even like my arms out, but it is hot, okay? And I've been up since early this morning and doing stuff, and this is, I think, my 3rd shirt, okay? So it's hot. Again, I'm not complaining. I'm glad, but with the heat, other people, they having a fit. I'm okay. As long as our air conditioner is working, I'm fine. So what do I have for you today? I have a new start. You all know it's very difficult for me to start things, but I have a new start. I have some works in progress to share and very minute plans. I do have a little bit of investments that I want to share, but you can also find me on Instagram. I am at CoryCreates08 on Instagram as well. And my Etsy shop is Layla P Creations, all one word, where you will find my project bags. You all, that is where a lot of my time has been spent over the last 2 weeks since I saw you. Again, I'm trying to just keep up with my project bags in the shop. I think I just recently posted maybe 15 over the last week or so, but you all are snatching them up, and I'm just excited that you are making that investment with me, because I know project bags are an investment. I have not had a chance to make myself any, and I definitely need to, so I can kind of get more organized and make sure I stay organized, so when school starts back up, I'll know exactly what I want to work on. But I have done some things that I'm going to share, but I'm going to start off with my new start. This is the one I told you I was going to start on the first day of summer, and that is Summer Quaker by Primrose Cottage. I can't remember if I've done anything else by Primrose Cottage. It's escaping me at the moment, but I do have this one, and I know I have other projects. Oh, I've done Hive Rules. So yes, I've done Primrose Cottage, but this is a small. I think this is the first time I've done a small by them. So I have decided, I had originally picked out a yellow to do it with, but I changed gears and I decided to go with Orange Soda by Color and Cotton. There's the tag. So here is where I am. I am doing this on a 28 count even weave. And I don't know, it was just something out of my stash that I grabbed. And I just got a little excess fabric around the edges to make it easier to go in this small nerge. But here is my start. I just did that, this motif right here. And I got that done just a I started working. I tried to pick this up and do a few threads in it before I pick up whatever main project I'm going to work on that night. I'm still on my same schedule. I wake up in the morning, I kind of go outside on the deck, water all my plants. I have a lot of house plants. I may do a showing of those at some point before the end of the summer. But I'll go outside, check out my house plants, see who needs to be watered and all that kind of stuff. And then I come inside, and I'm usually here at the kitchen table, at the kitchen island, working on project bags for the majority of the morning. I have to tell myself, okay, I'm only going to work till noon, and then I'm going to do something else. And then the evenings is when I primarily stitch, and there's a baseball game almost every night, so I definitely stitch during the baseball game if I'm going to watch it. Well, I am going to watch it. I watch everyone's St. Louis Cardinal game, so I'm going to watch it, stitch during the baseball game, and then when I go back to bed, I'll stitch a little more before I turn out the light. So I usually pick this up right before I start whatever main project I'm working on for the night. So that is Summer Quaker by Primrose Cottage. Okay, again, just an even weave, and I'm keeping that in my little orange bag. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there so I don't have quite so much to clean up. We already went to the farmer's market this morning, and I stocked up on my spices. They have a really nice spice shop. I don't know if you're from the St. Louis area. Soulard Farmer's Market is where we go. It's down in the city. And so we go there, and it's a whole thing. And I have one of those rolling carts that we take, but they have a really nice spice shop. So I usually spend a lot of money there because I only go every few months. And then they have a tea shop right next to the spice shop. And I usually stock up there as well. So I went there this morning, and then we had a little struggle at our storage unit. A whole bunch of stuff just fell over. Don't know why. So we went over there after that and picked that up. My daughter and I discovered it last night, but we went over there and picked that up today, and then came back home. And now my husband and son are at the comic book stores. They went to some comic book stores. That's their thing. And then my daughter's at work. Yes, she is home. So I am trying to get this video done because this afternoon Trent has a tennis tournament, just a one-day 3-match tournament. So that starts later this afternoon. So I wanted to come before then so I can get this edited. So moving on is my next one that is still in the hoop, and that is Floral Alphabet by JBW Designs. This is being done on a 32 count antique white Lugana. And I am using DMC Coloris in number 4500. It is a variegated pink and green floss that I am enjoying very much. I think I'll put in where I was the last time, and I just finished off a couple of motifs. I had started the K, I believe, the last time, and I went ahead and finished that. And then this is an uppercase L. I'm going to go ahead. It's only got a little bit more to go right here, so I'm going to finish that. And that is where I am. There is no deadline on this project. I'm just kind of doing it whenever I feel like it. I think the last time I worked on this, I was sitting somewhere and just grabbed it and picked it up. When I go to the tennis tournament this evening, I'm probably going to take maybe this one and the Summer Quaker. Those both are using one floss, and they're both on paper, so I can just take them with me as I go. But this is progressing nicely, just putting in a few. So I've got about 5 letters complete out of the 26, plus we've got all these little vines and flowers that are working out well. So I'm excited about this one. It's going well, and I'm gonna keep pressing forward. All right, this next one, we're still in the home stretch. We are still working on Annie's Market. Just Crossstitch Magazine, October 2004. This is being done on a 32 count Rogue Lugana, and color is Moonstone. All of the X's have been done. I am just working on backstitch. So I said I was going to just do kind of a thread a night, and that's what I've kind of been doing. It usually turns into a little more than that, but I've done pretty well. So I finished all of the pumpkins. So all of the pumpkins have their stems and their backstitching on the outline. I've done some of the gingerbread trim up here. I've done the windows. All of the windows now I think have their hash marks in them. I still don't like backstitch, y'all, but it's coming together. I still have to do the windows up here, the sign, and then finish the gingerbread trim. And then I think there's some green like lines in dispersed out through here. But that's it. That's all I have to do. So I'm hoping the next time I see you, this will definitely be done. I keep saying that. I think I've said that the last 3 times. But it is coming along. On this one, I've seen other things that the backstitch really helps it pop. I know it really helped on the pumpkins down at the bottom, but I'm just ready for it to be done. But I'm excited. It's almost there. So like I said, I just got to do the second floor, get those windows and the trims and things done, and then do my sign revision, and I will be finished. So this one is in the home stretch for real. All right, I did a thing. I went to an event on this past Thursday at the Foundry Art Center here in St. Charles, which is in the St. Louis metro area. That facility is like an art gallery, but it serves many purposes. It's a very large building. And I remember when I taught at a school district in St. Charles County, we had our prom there one year. And then my husband used to sit on a board of a facility that worked with disabled people and had them placed in jobs around the St. Louis metro area. They had the fundraiser there, like a casino night fundraiser there. So it is both an event space, but it's also like an art gallery. I know during the summer they have summer camp for kids, but they have a lot of art classes and things that they take. Well, they had something that I had heard about on the St. Louis Stitchers Facebook page called Stitch a Bitch. Yes, that's the name of it. And basically it's a stitching time. You know, you bring whatever fiber arts that you are working on and you work on them. Well, I decided to go. Since it's summer, I got more time. They do have a evening one. That's the one that was this past Thursday. I believe is usually the 3rd Thursday of the month, but you can check the the Foundry Art Center's website if you're interested and you live in this area. But they also have a daytime group, which meets on the 1st Thursday from 10 to 12. So I'm going to try to go to that one as well. But I am going to try to go to the evening one. So these next 2 projects are the 2 projects I took with me, and I've been working on them all month. But it was very interesting. I'll insert a picture of the event space, the space in the middle where it was held. And basically they had white tables and chairs kind of in a kind of Z formation, S formation, whatever you want to call it. So it wasn't real long tables, or the tables weren't separated. But they were kind of like a zigzag, so you had you can go in between, and it was just easier to see people in your area. Very informal. Nobody came up to me when I walked in. I just came in, found a spot, said hi to the people I was sitting by, and that was it. There was no formal introductions, very minimal, no structure. Okay. I do know some of the ladies that worked there, because at times I would see them go to their office. They were kind of just facilitating it, and I think one of them told me where the bathroom was. Very informal. So if that's your thing, come on down. It was a little intimidating for me. I'm an introvert. I'm one of those people, you know, I think I saw a meme one time that says basically an extrovert adopts you when you're an introvert. That's very true. At least for my friend group. A lot of them adopted me. So I had to, you know, I was like, okay, I can do this. And I went in and I sat down, and then another young lady came in right after I did. And that was one of the things I did like about it. I wasn't the youngest person in the room. It was a wide range of ages of people there, wide range of fiber arts that were being worked on. So I really liked that. The lady that came in after me, her name was Sarah. She was a young mom. She had a toddler at home, but she was doing punch needle. And I had never actually seen somebody do it. My sister does punch needle and she does beautiful work, but I've never actually seen it done. And it was very interesting. She was working on some little apple slices, little play stuff she was going to do for her kid. My boys just walked in, so I kind of lost my train of thought. But yes, Sarah was making like little apple slices and other little fruits to be toys for her toddler. But I was just fascinated with her punch needle device, and then the yarn that she was using. She was just using basic red heart yarn. So it was very interesting. There was quite a few crocheters. I don't know if I saw any knitting, but I definitely saw crochet, cross stitch. One of the ladies at my table was working on Stitching Rules by Primrose Cottage. So it was enjoyable time. Next time I know, just walk in and sit wherever and just go for it. But it worked out fine. I enjoyed it. It was from 6 to 8. And but I heard a lot of people as we were leaving introducing themselves to each other, so nobody really knew anybody. I think one lady across from me, she had brought her friend who she was teaching how to cross stitch, because she had a little bitty like kit project that she was working on, and she was talking about how long it was taking her, and everybody was just saying, oh, you'll get the hang of it. I would say there were maybe 30 to 40 people there. I didn't really count, but there were like 3 or 4 sections, and I would say it was about 10 people at each section. So it was very informal. So if you're looking for some people just to stitch with and hang out with, that could be a possibility if you're in the St. Louis area. So one of the things I worked on while I was there was African Woman and Baby. I'm on the home stretch with this one, you all. This is by Haynes Needlecrafts, and I already have my next one picked out that I'm going to work on from this company when I get finished. But I'm almost done with the stitches. Let me give you the stats on this. Here's where she is. I worked primarily, I finished this side. Now I just have to do the back stitch, and now I need to finish this side. This project has a total of 5,789 stitches, and I have done 5,370. So I'm at 92.76%. I have about 400 stitches left to go, you all. Super excited. And the back stitch on this is not intimidating because it's very clear. Now that's one thing about Annie's Market. What I'm supposed to back stitch is not clear, and what color I'm supposed to do it in was not always clear to me. They had a key, but it would just describe the area. All the back stitching, almost all the back stitching looked the same. It would just describe where this color was supposed to go. And if I wasn't clear on where that was, it took me a minute. I had a couple of spots that I was not sure about, and I finally figured out what they were talking about as I was searching through the pattern and working on another part. But this, very clear. The back stitching in here is in a brown, and the back stitching around her body is in black. It's very simple. So I am looking forward to working on that. I've done 519 stitches since the last time I saw you, and I've done about 1,200 stitches this month. So she's good to go. So I'm gonna try and finish her stitching before the end of the month. I'm going to touch her every day until all of her stitching is done, and then I'll just kind of work my way through the back stitching. Yes, I know I probably shouldn't save the back stitching to the end, but I have to. I can't. That's going to be one of my goals in the future, to kind of work it in as I'm working on a project. But she got quite a bit of attention, I think because she's so colorful, and then all of my project bags are colorful, and I was the only one that I saw that was stitching two-handed with a lap stand. So I had quite a few people come over and ask me about the lap stand, and they were even saying, oh, it does look like you go faster with that. So I kind of gave them the details of my lap stand. I'm in the market for another one, I think, just so I can have more than one, keep one in here in the living room area and then keep one in the back in my bedroom, and I'm going to do the same with a floor stand. I have a floor stand in the bedroom, and now I want one in here in the living room so I can work on a bigger project out here. So this is being stitched on a 28 count Atomic Ranch Lugana called Amber Waves, and I really like this color, and I have quite a bit left, so I will have a little bit. A lot of people were asking me how I was going to finish it. I'm not sure. I thought about a pillow with African print backing on it. I thought about a wall hanging with a kind of quilted border around it in African prints, and then I thought about just framing it. So I've got a few options, so I'm looking forward to completing her. And the next one is the other one that I also worked on during the month, and that is this Juneteenth day, because it is Juneteenth, and that is, both of these projects were started on Juneteenth in 2024. So that's another reason why I've been working on them steadily during the month of June. So this is this Juneteenth day by Shaded Stitchery. It is being stitched on a 32 count Lugana. I'm going to insert where I was the last time, and here is where I am now. It is being done on a 32 count Dusty Cottage by Stitch Me. It has 12,676 stitches in it, and I have done 6,848 stitches. I've done 1,065 stitches since the last time we were together, and I have done 1,700 for the month. So I think I was right in front of this motif here. So I finished it, that row, and then I just came down and started working my way back. So I'm hoping I can finish this. I am at 54.02%. So my year check-in for this, I've done 50% over the last year. I would like to finish this before the end of the year. I don't know if I will work on it again until August. I'm definitely going to work on it till the end of the month. I want to finish this row, okay? And then I'll just see how I feel about working on it moving forward. But I am going to pick it up Sampler September, since this is one of the few samplers that I have. And I'm going to push for a finish for the end of this year. I've enjoyed working on this. This is a very rhythmic stitch, and what I mean is, like right here, same stitch. Might be a little break in there somewhere, but it's the same stitch for a little while. Right here, 3 stitches, skip 1, 3 stitches, skip 1. Okay, just all of it, just very, very rhythmic. Each of the motifs usually repeats, and that makes it easy to stitch. A lot of brown, but I haven't minded. I think I'm at the end of my second skein of DMC 3371, which is the main brown in this stitch. And I don't remember if I've mentioned this before. This is a needle minder that I made from a pin I found at an antique shop. My husband just took the back off of it, and then I added a magnet. So that is this Juneteenth Day by Shaded Stitchery, and I enjoy working on it a lot. Now, this next project was one of my setbacks for the month. I only picked this, I was only working on it a little bit. But I told you all the last time you saw this that I really wanted to get to the middle of the butterfly. And this is, let me get my chart so I can show you. This is a Study in Pink by the Artsy Housewife. And I'm primarily on this side. But I'm like, ooh, I want to get to the body. I want to get to the body. I want to get to the body. I jumped the gun, and I shouldn't have. I should have taken my time. What happened was, the way Pattern Keeper marked off the stitches that I had done And I'm gonna go ahead and get out. Well, first off, let me show you where I was the last time you saw this. And now I'm gonna show you where I was 2 nights ago. And here is where I am now. The frog has visited me. Y'all see the body and the antennas, all of that is gone. I did fill in down here, but what happened was, and I'll put up where I was a couple nights ago again, and you will see where I have circled where my mistake was. The reason I made that mistake, and I want to go over it because I want to save somebody else this headache if possible. So let me open my pattern keeper. And this is my Kindle that pattern keeper is on. But I'm going to pull up, so African woman with baby. I'm going to pull some of that up. So as you can see, these are the stitches I have not done. They're in black and white. Whenever I click on them and mark them as completed, they change to a color similar to the floss color. Well, that did not happen on one particular color on Study in Pink. So let me show you that one real quick. So here's my Study in So here's my Study in Pink. And it was doing it the exact same way that I have it done on African Woman and Baby. I had to change my settings. So as you can see, and this is the area that I messed up on right here. This number 5, I don't know if you can see it, but I had to change my settings. So now that all of the completed chart is going to be highlighted in pink. The part that I'm getting ready to stitch or that I'm highlighting it in green. And you can do pink in any color, but I wanted something I wasn't going to be able to miss, so I chose pink. But what was happening is this particular color, the one right next to where the body starts, the number 5 symbol, when it was being changed to supposedly the color that was similar to it in DMC, it was white. But I don't understand why, and this is where I am now. I don't understand why, because that's not white. It's like a I think the color is German Chocolate by Color and Cotton. Not Color and Cotton, I'm sorry, Classic Color Works. This color right here on the edge. So all the way down the edge, it was showing like the background, like white. And so I thought it made my counting off. So I had a huge space between the body and the top of the wing. I think I had like 4 or 5 spaces, and it should have only been 2. So then when I came down here and I did the part that was here, it wasn't meeting up with this edge. So it was too far over. So everything I had stitched from the body and then into this area was wrong. And my son was sitting next to me and he saw it. He said, well, why can't you just make the same mistake on the other side and fix it? And what he said made absolute sense. I couldn't do it. It was off. In my mind, it was wrong. It was off. And I did not want to fudge it. So I didn't. It took me 1 inning of baseball last night to frog it. And let me show you what I did to frog it. I know we're probably not supposed to use seam rippers, but I am a pro with a seam ripper. If I sew every day. So if you sew as much as I do, you know how to use a seam ripper. And you know when to be careful with it and how to be careful with it. I know there's some devices out there now that you can get. I haven't taken the time to invest in them yet, that you can get to make your unpick. I know there's an unpicker with Fat Quarter Shop. I know there's a number of things out there. This is my favorite seam ripper, and the name of it is Seam Fix. Please don't ask me where I got it. I have no idea. I want to say I got it at a quilt shop. But why I like it is, if you'll notice, the ends are white. This is silicone. So once you do your frogging or seam ripping, you run the silicone across where the threads were and they come out much easier. Yes, you can use those little spoolies, but they don't, but I can rub with this and all the stitches come out easier. The spoolie just kind of catches what's left over, I feel like. So that's what I did. And you can probably see the shadow from where everything that I frogged right in there. But this worked really well. And I rubbed on it from the back. That way I wasn't getting anything ingrained into the threads on the front. So I just very carefully took my blade underneath there. And like I said, I was watching the baseball game last night. It only took me an inning to frog it. So let me give you the stats on this real quick. This project has 12,428 stitches. I have done 2,716 total, and 537 stitches since the last time I showed this to you in May, but I had to frog 215. But it was a lot less painful because of the way I was able to do it and get them out. So I think moving forward, I'm going to keep coming down this way. Just move and just finish the wing and then take my time and get to the body. Because I had done some stitching in here, and then I had also added this one right here. So that was where my 500 and whatever came in. But it was painful yesterday at first, and then once I started frogging, I'm like, oh, this isn't going to take me that long. And then I just wiped it out of my mind. So that is a study in pink by the Artsy Housewife, and I'm going to keep working on that for this summer. And I did a conversion, my own conversion. If I had the called for over dyes, I used them, and if I didn't, I converted them to color and cotton. But all's well that ends well. Last whip. This is my stitch along by Modern Folk Embroidery. I am participating in the stitch along that is being put a bird on it stitch along, and that's the name of the chart, by the Sunshine Stitchers. If you want more information, you can go to their Facebook page, but it is a chart by Modern Folk Embroidery, and I'm working on it. So here's the chart. I'm completing this on a 32 count solo die from Color and Cotton, and it's a Lugana. But is the Put a Bird on It Sal. And Big Blue is done. So last time I was with you, I think I had this corner up here to complete. So that's what I did. And let me give you the stats. This project has 13,557 stitches in it. And I have done 7,463 stitches, so I am at 56.78%. I've done 234 stitches since the last time I saw you, and I've done 1,927 this month. So it is progressing nicely. I'm at 56%, and the end of June marks the halfway point in the year, so I'm over 50%. I'm good with that. I will pick this up again next month. This is the color Abyss, and I think it's right there also, by Color and Cotton. I did one full skein, and I think I was worried I wasn't going to be able to finish it with that second skein. So this is a lot of stitches here. This is more than 2,000 stitches just in this area. So Big Blue is done, and I'm ready to move on. I think the rest of it's going to go pretty fast because that was the largest motif in the whole thing. So I'm probably just going to go where I know the color that I'm going to use. I have kind of been deciding my colors as I go. So see, I kind of write on there what color I'm going to use where. And then once I've completed a color, if I look at it and I don't like the color I got next to it, I change it. So that's kind of how I've been flowing on that one. So that is my works in progress. I'm excited about that progress. Let's go ahead and talk about the giveaways, and I'm going to let those people know who they are so you can contact me. Email me at CoryCreates08@gmail.com if you are a winner, and I will get these out to you. I had a number of winners from my last video. Those prizes have gone out. I think the only ones I have not sent out are the 3 project bag. I did get all of your emails. Those will go out on Monday. And if any of you contact me before Monday, these will go out as well. So let's start with the butterfly, Black Butterfly Sampler by Shaded Stitchery. The winner of this is Sandra Adams 2677. Please reach out and email me your mailing address. And thank you so much for watching. But this will come to you in the mail ASAP. The next prize or next item was the 28 count prairie grain linen. That was 21 by 27 inches. This is going to, all one word, Janet Crossstitch. So Janet, please reach out to me so I can get this to you in the mail. And then the last physical item was this project bag. This is the 15 by 12 size that you can find in my Etsy shop. Vinyl front. And then my full project bags are usually 16 by 13, my lined project bags. But this one is going to Kathy 6998. So Kathy, please reach out to me for your project bag, and that will go out with my next order that I am mailing out. And then finally, I offered a heaven and earth design of your choice, and that person that is the winner is Pumpkin Vine Creek, all one word. Please reach out to me, and all I need from you is your email address. Start taking a look at Heaven and Earth Designs and let me know which chart you would like to receive. What I'm going to do is whenever I buy a Heaven and Earth design, you all, I wait on a sale. So I'm going to make you wait on the sale too, big sis. So just reach out to me, let me know what chart you want, and then as soon as the next sale comes up, I will purchase that and have it sent directly to your email box. So if you have any questions though, just let me know. But I look forward to hearing from all 4 of those people. All of the winners from last month responded, and I am in the process of sending those last few out. But thank you so much. I appreciate that all of you were paying attention and got back with me, and I was able to get those out to you. But if you have not received your project bags, those will go out on Monday. Thank you all so much for participating. I will have another giveaway soon. I enjoy doing those. So let's jump into investments. I don't have a lot of cross stitch investments. I have a few stitching investments, but I have a lot of quilting investments, and the reason being is my mom and I went to the Kansas City Regional Quilt Show in Overland Park, Kansas, the weekend of June 13th and 14th. We have been to that show before, but it was before COVID. I want to say the last time we were there was 2019. So at the end of this video, I'm going to put in pictures of some of the quilts that I particularly enjoyed. And I'll make sure I write on the screen which one got best of show. You all, my mama blew my mind. She said that when you win best of show at some of these shows, you don't get to you don't get your quilt back. They keep it. Now you get paid for it. I think she said $20,000 was the prize for this one. And I'm going to start investigating that, how much the prize money is for these. I know it's big, but I didn't know they kept your quilt. And some of these are art. But if you win best of show, they keep the quilt. I was like, okay, I guess if you're that good, you don't care. But that just was mind blowing to me, the number of hours that are spent on these, and for them to say, no, we're keeping it. I'm like, ah. But I think as a creative person, that's why I feel that way. But again, hey, if you're getting $20,000 in exchange, I might be like, I'm gonna keep that. So that is where we went, and they had a lot of vendors. So I'm gonna start off with the one cross-stitch vendor that I found. I had a business card, but I don't know what I did with it. But the name of the shop was Sunflower Stitchery. And I believe I know they were out of Kansas. I want to say it was Topeka, but I'm going to put that down in the show notes if I find out exactly where they were. But I know they were in Kansas. But I bought a piece of 32 count Lugana. It is from Atomic Ranch, and it is called Stone Cold. And I always like grays, and I don't have very many in my stash. So this is a 32 count Lugana, and it's just a very light gray. So I grabbed that, and they had quite a few things, but as you all know from my last video, I had just gone to Color and Cotton and bought a lot of stuff, and a lot of the stuff I would have purchased there, I had already purchased from Color and Cotton. So they had some of the charts that I would have wanted, but I was glad to get that piece of fabric. So let me quickly go through just some of the other things, patterns that I bought. Villa Rosa. I don't know if, oh, here it is, y'all. Sunflower Stitchery. There it is. I did keep the card. And it is Olathe. So I'm glad I found that. There you go. Olathe, Kansas, if you're in that area. Cute little setup that they had. But Villa Rosa, if any of you are familiar with Villa Rosa, they just have all these cute little cards. Well, they had a table full of these cards. And I wish I had gone through my notes and seen which ones I wanted. But these were the 4 that I got. Florence, Duet, Menus, and Zamora. And I've given these away on my channel from time to time. But these are good if you are getting into quilting and you're not really sure where to start. These are good start. Very simple instructions on the back. And they also gave me a free one. So, but I can't wait till they are at another show, because I'm going to be prepared. Because I mean, it would have taken you forever just to go through every single card. They just had them like in a file system, and it took up the whole table. Plus they had kits made up with their patterns, so it was very nicely done. I want to get back into embroidery, you all. I want to embroider some things and put them on the front of project bags. Plus I just want to embroider some things. This was how I got started in the stitching. I did some embroidery when I was younger. So Colonial Patterns had a booth, and I got 3 iron-on transfer patterns. This one is Different Pies, and they do have an online catalog if you're interested in checking them out. But these are those old school Aunt Martha's. And then this one is Fancy Fruit, and it's those large X's. And this last one is Flowers. I've always wanted to do a quilt out of these. So those are the 3 Aunt Martha's patterns that I got. I did get some bag and some quilt patterns. The first one is Book Nerd by Angela Pinkle Designs. I am a book nerd, so I thought that was appropriate. I'm looking forward to working on that. And it has a template, but I didn't get the template. So I got that at one of the booths. I got this Strawberry Patch quilt pattern. I've seen so many people on Flosstube with a strawberry quilt, and I've been wanting to do one, and this one's pretty close to some of the ones I've seen. So there's that one. And then this was a bag pattern. Y'all know I love to make bags, but it's called Not Your Basic Blue Pattern, Blue Bag Pattern. And when they're talking about the not basic blue bag, they're talking about that IKEA bag. but this is the size of that IKEA bag, and then they have two others that are similar. And this has but you see it even has that double handle like the IKEA bag has. So I definitely want to make one of these for myself, and I also want to make one for my daughter so she can use it to go back and forth to school. She's home for another month. She's at work right now. They made her a manager at her job at the mall, so she's busy. But I want to make one of these for her and myself, and you can use just regular cotton or a canvas, and I think I'm going to do a canvas to make it nice and sturdy. And then everything else I got you all was fabric. So I'm just going to show some of these. These are some panels that I got, and some of them you may see in a project bag one day. But seed packets, I thought these were cute, and I already had some. And so now I have enough, I know I have enough that I can frame them out and make them into a quilt. And then some of them, if I have any left over, they will end up on floral project bags. And I even found the ones I already have, which is a miracle considering most of my fabric is in storage. This one I picked up from a quilt shop, but this one you will probably see in my shop in a project bag. It's got floss. Now all of these came from the quilt shop. I purchased some of them, my mom purchased some of them and gifted them to me, so I'm always grateful. But I'm gonna show you what I got, and then if I know the shop it came from, I'm gonna show it. Now these came from a shop called Good with Sugar, and this was just a little tag that came on the fabrics. But all of these, and these are kind of like farmers market type prints. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but I had to have them. All different, and these are half yards. But all the shops had their stuff most of them had it pre-cut, and they had them wrapped with different tags. So that's one line that I got. And then I got some of these. I got the pink, just a color. Let me see if I can tell you the line it is. Yeah, this is a Moda, and it is curated in color. And I've seen these at other quilt shops, but I went ahead and finally grabbed some. So I got the pink and I got the yellow. We stopped at a quilt shop. Well, let me go through the ones that came from the show first. This came from Elkhorn Quilts. This is a very popular line right now. Tim Holtz, I believe it is. And it's Eclectic Elements palette. And I've collected quite a few of these. But this one was my favorite, and I'm definitely making a bag for myself out of this one. And this is another line, the Victor Hugo, and it's called Life is the Flower in Which Love is the Honey. But this was just one fabric from that line that I found. I'm going to get more if I come across them. But those came from a place. Oh, I had the card sitting here and I misplaced it. I'll keep going and hopefully I'll come across the card. But it was, here it is. Threads and You is the name. And she was out of Texas. I believe she said she was just north of Houston. And then here's her email if you want to contact her. But these next few that I'm going to show you came from her table, from her booth. And she had so many. I love these books. This is more of a canvas feel, but I got a yard of that. Christmas, she had some Christmas. Love that. Another one, colorway of the books. So one of those will definitely end up in my shop. And then she had some Tula Pinks that I got. There's one. There's the other. And I love this one because this is a multicultural Santa. those Santa bags. And some of you have been requesting cats. So here's some cats that will be in my shop soon. And then another multicultural Santa. So all of those came from threadsandyou.com. And that was it for my shop haul. I think that was it. Yep. And then we stopped on the way home. We stopped at a quilt shop in Columbia, Missouri. It's right there by the mall. And they had some that I had never seen, so that's what I grabbed. Here's some Egyptian prints. They have a dark one. Here's a light one. And then I'm going to use this as the accent. So those were pretty. One of those is definitely going to be mine. And you all, that's what I usually end up doing. If I buy a yard of fabric, I get one, y'all get one. And then here's some more Christmas. Cocoa and peppermint. So those two designs. You all, one thing that I did notice at this quilt show, and well, not even just at the quilt show, at this quilt shop that we stopped in Columbia, they have really gone up on their prices. I mean, that was why I did not buy more than what I did, because I'm like, whoa, I mean, really gone up. I think in that quilt shop we went to $15 a yard, close to $15 a yard for most fabrics. So that's just something that's, I guess we got to just live with it. Last thing from the Kansas City trip, we went to a place called KC Scraps. It is like, I know we have a couple of places, it's like a resale for crafting. But this place, there's two in St. Louis, but they're both primarily for sewing and needle arts. This one was for anything. They had painting, they had frames, they had anything you could think of for a craft. They had it there, and it's by donations. And so everything is just, it was very well organized. So if you were interested in art and painting, there was a section for you. If you were interested in fabric, they had all the fabric rolled up and measured out and put in cubbies and priced. They had threads separated by color and bins. That's what I got because I needed some more threads. But they had a little stitching section, and they didn't have much in it, but I did find a pretty good find. I found this chart. It's a lavender and lace, and it's called Angel of Grace. It came just like this, okay? No cover, no anything, but this is Angel of Grace. Very good condition considering it does not have any packaging. $1. Couldn't leave it. I don't even know if I'm gonna stitch it, but it was only $1. And it looked like it came from an estate sale because it came in this bag and it said March 2018 estate sale. So I got it for $1. So I may do it. I'll think about it, definitely. And then the last thing I got also for $1 were these floss bags. And they had the ring and everything. Floss away. So those were my two things that I got from there. I got some other things. I got like some cigar boxes. I like to put my quilt pieces in cigar boxes. I got some tape from like an adding machine tape. Use those for foundation paper piecing crumbs. So I got some of that. Me and my mom both got that. My mom got some Asian postcards. I mean, I'll tell you, when they have anything you could think of, rulers. I mean, just anything you could possibly think of. So KC Scraps. It was in like a huge, kind of like a garage warehouse type building, and very easy to find what you're looking for. Lots of office supplies. I did notice that. That's why I was able to find those receipt tapes, 50 cents each. I mean, anything, staplers, just bins and bins of things. So if you're wanting to look for that type of stuff, I highly recommend that spot. I think we'll probably be stopping there every time we come through. Last piece of investments is my fabric of the month. Sorry about the crinkling, from the Stitch Me from June. And we got our June one early this month, but I love it. It's beautiful. It's called Dusk 32 count Lugana. Look at that. It's kind of a cross between a pink and a purple, but it's very pretty. Love the modeling. I'm definitely searching for something to put on that. I would like to do like a butterfly or something on that. It's very pretty. So that is my Bestitch Me fabric of the month. And that is all for my investments. All right, to end this video, I'm just gonna go over some very loose plans, and I have a few shout outs. So for July, I am gonna participate in Jolly July. I always have, and I love Christmas stitching, but I don't know how much I'm gonna participate. And the reason being is there's so many things I still want to work on. I'm trying to maximize my summertime. Plus, I still have project bags that I need to work on. I have I told you guys I'm gonna do a demo video for grime guards. So I'm definitely gonna do that this summer. I think I have some work I need to do on my serger. It's acting up. So I use that when I make grime guards. So I wanna make sure I get that worked out. But just a quick schedule for project bags. Sometime in July, you'll see Christmas. I'll post a few Christmas bags that you can pick up for Christmas in July. Some of them will be those fabrics that you just saw. And then in August, fall bags will come out, as well as I will also have some baseball coming out soon. And then in August, football bags will start showing up. So just to kind of keep that in mind. Thank you all so much for your support from my Etsy shop, Layla P Creations. It's gone really well, and I just appreciate you all so much. So back to plans. You all, I overwhelmed myself. Between the quilt show and my shopping sprees at Color and Cotton, I have so many projects now that I want to do. And I overwhelmed myself. I have at least 10 things kitted up, ready to go. And I'm like, but I can't. I got this over here. I got to finish first. I am a former monogamous stitcher. So having multiple projects can overwhelm me sometimes. And I think I got to that point a couple of weeks ago. I was just like, okay, what do I do first? And you all already know I'm a terrible starter. So I'm kind of dialing it back a little bit and rounding down. These are the Christmas in July projects that I have available to work on. That first one, Type of Christmas, is Erin Elizabeth. Reindeer, Cottage Garden. Chestnut is Teresa Winsler. I really would like to work on that for sure. And then I have Peppermint Christmas that I've neglected. Holy, Holy, Holy by Cosford Rise. Gingerbread Cookies by Stitching with the Housewives. And then the Nativity Tiny Town is new. I have not started it. That is between that and the Christmas Tiny Town. Those may be a new start. I also need to continue with Big City Christmas. I'm ready for the street scene, the one that goes in the middle. So I probably will not touch all of these, but I'm going to make an effort to at least do one start and then touch at least 3 of these. So in my next video, I'll have it worked out and I'll share and show them. But I'm leaning towards definitely Chestnut because it's more than halfway, so I could get a good chunk of that done. The Tiny Town, one of them. A Type of Christmas, maybe just commit to doing a couple of motifs on that. And then the Reindeer. I really need to put some more stitches in that. So that's where I am for Jolly July. I am going to participate. I just don't know to what extent. African Woman and Baby and Annie's Market will be done in July. I don't want to go back to work and they have not been done. So those two, definitely want to get those done. I want to start the Bee Queen by Tiny Modernist. I don't know if I'm going to get there, but I want to start the Bee Queen. And then just continue with a Study in Pink. I want to go back to the Phoenix Sampler. And I want to get back on track with my Vintage Baker. So I have a lot of things that I want to touch. So we'll see what gets touched. But I'm glad and grateful for the amount of projects that I have, and my creativity. I'm always grateful for it, because with the shenanigans that are on the news every night, I'm glad I have this to escape to. So those are my very, very minimal plans. One big shout out I wanted to give, and that is to Jerica, the Daybreak Stitcher. And I definitely wanted to shout her out because she's doing a giveaway right now of one of my project bags. So head on over to her channel, watch her channel. She stitches a lot of different things, and she's a fast stitcher. I think she's a very fast stitcher, but she's a mom of littles, and she gets a lot done. But her channel again is the Daybreak Stitcher. And Jerica, my sister, thank you for the shout out. And she shows one of her bag purchases, and she is offering on her channel one of mine of your choice. So you will get to pick from my Etsy shop. So head on over to her channel and subscribe and check out what she is talking about over there. Just the other people that I have been watching, Jordan the Tattooed Stitcher, I enjoy watching all of her projects. She does a lot of samplers, and she does just very beautiful projects. Mrs. Jones Stitches, I've been watching her regularly the last few months. Tiger Lily Designs, Once Upon a Stitch, love her finishing as well. All of these people post or do videos every week. So I'm finally catching up with all of them, and I'm glad that I'm able to keep up with them now that I'm in summertime. There's one new Flosstuber I wanted to mention, and that is Lil, L-I-L, Lil Freckle Frog. She is a new Flosstuber out of Texas. I think she said the San Antonio area, but go check her out. She also is a quilter. She started off as a quilter and has only been stitching for a few years, she said, but a lot of projects and designs to share. So go over and check her out and support her channel. And then the last shout out is not a stitcher, but she's hilarious. And as a woman who has entered that menopause, perimenopause era of my life, she's hilarious. Her channel on Instagram, and she may be on TikTok as well. I only go to TikTok every now and then, but she's definitely on Instagram. And her channel is Just Being Melanie, and it's Melanie with an I, Just Being, B-I-N-G, Just Being Melanie, all one word. Melanie is spelled with an I. But she is the founder of the We Do Not Care Club, and I have been a member since the inception. Hilarious. If I need a laugh, because she just comes on as she is in that moment and talks about the things that those of us that are 45 and older, or we maybe even 40 and older, are experiencing. So it's a non-stitching shout out, but a very worthy one, I feel like, because it's hilarious. Every time she does the announcements, I'm like, yep, I don't care about that either. Yep, I don't care about that either. So it has been a source of humor and being able to relate. So go over there and check her out on Instagram. I think that's all I have for you all. My winners, please contact me. Hope you are keeping cool. That is what I'm attempting to do here in sweltering St. Louis. I'm about to head back out into it with my son with this tennis tournament today. So wish him luck. We're just keeping busy. I think he has a jazz camp coming up. Layla again is working. She goes back to school at the beginning of August, I believe. So we'll drive her back down there. She completed her summer class and got a good grade, so she was excited about that. I think she is taking another class, but it's online and very simple. So she's getting things done. Might have to go out of town a couple of times, not sure yet during this month. But Trent has taken a class as well. He is going into 8th grade, and he is taking 8th grade math this summer so he can go into algebra for high school credit next school year. So he's done well with that. the first semester is over, so he starts the next semester next week. So we just getting things done. I'm knee deep in fabric. I've got a couple of quilts I want to get done before the end of the summer and a couple of bags. So I'm just piddling away, but I'm grateful for my summertime as a teacher. I know all of you that are teachers are super grateful for my summertime. It's a chance to reset and rethink some things. I hope I'm getting to the end of my teaching career. I'm ready to go, y'all. I'm ready to do something different. I just don't know what that is. If I could do audiobooks, I would. I think I would like that. But I wanna do something more creative in my next chapter when I get to move into it. So I'm praying the Lord show me where that is and when I can go. So thank you for being here. If you are not a subscriber, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and join me. I'm going to finally put all these fabrics away, and I'm going to keep stitching and sharing what I have. And I just am grateful for you all and glad that you are here with me. So keep enjoying summer, and I will see you next time. And as always, be blessed.